Joe and Anthony Russo are like, you know what's a good idea? Let's go out there and become public enemies of the people. They've essentially become like the separatists in Star Wars, because they're like, you know who's more powerful than Thor? Captain Marvel. You guys did this to yourselves. Now, I've said it before we get into this video, I don't mind Captain Marvel. Was her movie the best? Definitely not. Was her movie the worst? Not in the slightest. It was just kind of there, in the middle. It's a film. It's in the MCU. That's Captain Marvel to me. I certainly don't mind the character, and I actually like Carol Danvers in the comics. So when she shows up in Avengers Endgame, she definitely has power levels that we haven't seen before in the MCU. Now, this was previously teased by Marcus and McFeely, the writers of Avengers Endgame. It was teased by Joe and Anthony Russo, the directors of the film, and it was teased by Kevin Feige. So when the film was out and we saw, we're like, okay, she's definitely one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful character out there. Second maybe to Thor, or maybe on the same level as him. Now Joe and Anthony Russo, the directors, have come back and talk about this exact element and her power levels. And they said when you see her show up, you see the extent of her powers. That's kind of just like the tip of the iceberg. And is she more powerful than Thor? They both said that they believe she is. Because, let's be real, Thor, yeah, he's crazy. He's a god. Look at his powers. Still, he's getting hurt out there. When you look at Captain Marvel, she's taking on Thanos just by herself and winning till he decides to cheat with the gauntlet. So I think they're right in this. The way she's been displayed currently, she's definitely the most powerful. And I mean, just look at her like flying through the ships, taking care of them with no problem. Like, it doesn't faze her at all. You have to understand that, yeah, she is the most powerful character there. And if we look at the comics, if you were to just line up all the comic Avengers that are in the film and look at them in the comics, you're like, yeah, you know, she's still the most powerful. And it just makes a lot of sense. Now, I know some of you might hate her character. That's fine. That's cool. I'm not the biggest fan of her character in the MCU either. Some of you might not like Brie. That's fine. I have actors I absolutely hate, but they're in things I love, so I watch it regardless. But I think they're right. There's clearly nobody more powerful in the MCU currently than her. And we really haven't seen the extent of her powers other than those quick scenes and her really showing it off in Endgame. So I think this is kind of just them planting the seeds and trying to tell us, hey, in the future, you're gonna see the full extent of her power. And just get ready, because it's kind of gonna be unreal if she can do what she did in Endgame. Just, you know, imagine how much more we got to explore with this character. And this, of course, goes hand in hand with what they said about Scarlet Witch, where they're like, you know what, we haven't seen her powers yet, but when we do, oh boy, is she gonna be powerful. She could take care of Thanos by herself. Yeah, so I think Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel, top tier. As always, if you guys like this video, thank you for watching. Make sure you like it, subscribe it, and hit the notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. Man, that's like last call. God, I got a drinking problem.